project. It's time to get this winch out of here so I can tear it down and see what needs to be done, whether I can repair it or I need to send it somewhere to get it rebuilt. Got most of these out already. Gonna get a engine hoist to lift that out of there so we can break it open and see what's in there. My winch. Looks like it's been in the bottom of a lake for 40 years. This has got a hole rusted through it. This is one of the clutch assemblies. I do have some bearings and cones for it. Whether this shaft is savable or not, we'll have to just get it apart and use a lot of de-rusting. Those were bearings. Okay, I've got this shaft assembly disassembled, and there's really nothing more to salvage. This is so pitted with rust. This shaft is screwed up. This brake drum, I guess, is savable, but not much else. I've got most of the parts on hand. I'm waiting for somebody to actually make me a shaft so I can get this reassembled. So here's the end of my winch gearbox. This is where the brake band goes, and you can see, well, the bearings failed. It started wearing through, water entered, rusted, etc., etc. I've been soaking and scrubbing and soaking and scrubbing with every chemical. So it's pretty clean now. What I think I'm going to do is going to be two-step. I think I'm going to use this stuff to make the initial plug for this, and then maybe use some Bondo on the outside of this just to finish the job, make it look nice. But we'll see how that works. My JB weld looks like it's successful. I ground down a bulge that was sticking out here. Now I'm going to put a little bit of Bondo on this just to make it smooth, look a little bit better. The brake assembly, I believe, this will fit in there. And I believe this is assembled correctly. It is tricky. You can kind of assemble it more than one way. But looking at my original photos, this should be correct. This Indiana weather, and before the weather broke, got rainy and everything. Got this all cleaned out, inside cleaned out, outside scrubbed and sandblasted, and got a little primer on it. So now I can work on the insides. So this is what I got cooking here. So I'm going to put bearing races in those housings. So the bearing races are in the dry ice right now. I'll go grab them. These spacers were about the only other thing on the shaft that I saved. They look beat up, but as long as they serve their purpose as spacers, I don't really think we need to worry about them. When they're in there, they're locked in there, so you know, I don't think there's going to be a problem. So we got both of these bearing races installed. You can see the aluminum plug. Put little marks on there, but that will polish out. That's fine. One of these took a little bit more persuasion, but they're both installed. And next would be the seals on this. I think I'll get that worm gear on that shaft next. Okay, cross our fingers that this all goes the way it's supposed to. That goes on there just like that. Snug it just a tiny bit. Then WD-40. Make it a little slick. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah. And so we use some goo for the seal surface where it's going to go. So it's going to seal inside there well. Because the surface has been battered a little bit. So this side in I found a socket that kind of fits as snugly as I could in there. So really hope this works. Appears to have worked. Spread this Permatex in there, and cross your fingers, it's not going to leak. Good deal. There's one side. Yay! And there we have both sides. I'll wait and let everything normalize temperatures, part of it cool down, part of it warm up.